The clock has officially started. This is day one of BrandLocked. For the next 1,000 days, I'm trapped in this room, metaphorically speaking. My goal is to build a double comma brand ecosystem. That means I want to reach $1 million in revenue and 1 million followers online. That sounds crazy, but I'm not even just chasing vanity metrics. To win this game, I need to unlock a few side quests. The side quests are 1,000 newsletter subscribers, 5,000 paying customers, 5,000 reviews or testimonials, and 5,000 experience points. And most importantly, 500 quest cards completed. So before we dive into how I'm going to do that, you might be asking, where are you? Who are you to actually attempt this? And I'm just a regular guy. I've spent now over 10,000 hours building businesses, perfecting my craft, and building, iterating, testing, leveling up my skills over the last few years. And in the end, I keep self-sabotaging most of my brands and most of my activities. And so what have I done? I have built in the last years 50 products and brands, different offers, variations, different fields, different niches, as they say. Most of them got lost, pivoted, or abandoned. And over the years, I have amassed 400 videos, long-form videos on YouTube across multiple channels, 500 blog posts over multiple blogs, and 100 podcast episodes that I recorded and then published, but then noticed it didn't get the traction I was thinking. So over those content pieces, you can spend 288 hours reading, watching, and listening to me in the different formats and get to know my content, my topics, my expertise. I know that compounding exists. I've experienced it in a lot of forms, and skills definitely take years to build up. And so I'm not starting at zero per se, because there is definitely a build up to my skills and to what I've done. And I know that personality, authority, and the actions are the only things that will matter going forward to actually build the future. But I made the classic mistakes. Too many rebrands. Like, I don't even know how many logo designs and redesigns I did over the years. Too many pivots between different domains, different products, different business ideas. Too many distractions along the way of getting distracted with playing games and all of that stuff, and then different ideas that I just went down rabbit holes and never got anything from. So I ended up killing most of the momentum before compounding actually kicked in. And so I need to stop self-sabotaging my efforts. I need to throw everything that I have into one brand, one business, and one idea. Welcome to BrandLocked. BrandLocked is a campaign that I started now that's with the goals that I said earlier, with the interesting take on gaming series. I've watched a lot of World of Warcraft campaigns over the years, and there's a format that I quite love and enjoy to watch, and that's locked campaigns. They are locked in on one specific thing. And the part that I felt always missing is that in the end, all of that is just a game. What if we end up using similar principles, but bringing them into the real world, into growing our business? So to make the game work, we need to have some rules that BrandLocked my campaign needs to abide. And that is, I need to have 7 laws that I figured out right now that kind of make sense to narrow it down, but still give me the flexibility to actually move in the business. And yeah, let's just go through the 7 rules, and then we can comment down below to see if one of them actually works or is worth it, or if you have any good ones that I should actually also follow. So rule number 1 is no rebranding allowed. I can't change the brand that I'm working with, which I'm coming to what I'm doing. I'm coming to the points of how this all will work and how this comes together, but no rebranding. The name and visuals are final. I have different sets prepared and we'll just stick with it. No domain changes. That's also another point that I've done too often. So we need to stick to the domain that I have. I actually have 2 domains that we'll use, and I'll also explain the purpose later. We have one ecosystem that we focus everything on. No side hustle that don't grow our core mission to move this forward. Now, rule number 4 is bootstrap only. No investors. We pay our own way. And that's how most of us start, and that's how I've done the last few years. And so we'll just stick to that. The mirror. I do what I teach, and I teach what I do. That's kind of another interesting rule that I want to follow, because online there are a lot of people that teach one way, but in the back end, if you analyze how they sell, how they work, actually do something else. And so I want to be crystal ball building my business to the degree that I am doing what I teach, although it might be hard. And I will teach what I actually do, and not just what might work. And also not saying one thing and then doing another, which kind of is a little bit silly that we got that far. Then I am the rule of the forge. I must create more than I consume. And that one is somehow a bit challenging, because somehow I end up consuming a lot more than I actually create. And I have so many notes. Like here are all like just a few stacks of ideas that I have that I need to go through, and I just can't, don't do it. So I must create more than I watch, more than I consume. And then the last rule is a special one, and it's grind, don't hustle. I will do the work, but the goal is to still be home for dinner every single night, because I do have 2 kids and a wife, and I'm not just here to say hustle, hustle, hustle. I've tried that and it didn't work. So we're here to grind. And every gamer knows that there's a certain grind to the fun. And that means that we need to have tasks that are challenging, that might be mind-numbing and a little bit stupid, but they're so simple that they work every time. And so we need to grind, but not hustle, not fall in the trap of just spending more hours for the sake of it. So that is BrandLocked, the campaign. Now the question, how am I going to do that? And I actually forgot. And I'm back. That's how editing works. It's magic. So the business and brand that I'm focused on is the world of entrepreneurship. And the campaign that I'm running is called the Grand Campaign Program. That's the starter pack and chapter 1, or the first quest pack. What's inside this? Well, a lot of fun stuff. So the world of entrepreneurship is going to be my business going forward. I am fleshed out. It's all written and worked out over the last 2 months to be here at this stage. And the world of entrepreneurship has 3 pillars that I understand well and that we need to actually focus on to grow any business. Pillar 1 is exemplary stewardship. It is all about becoming the person that can actually run the business. I've seen this so many times that it's either completely gone off the rails, personal development, and no business is evolving. And on the other side, we have the hustle bros that sell, and lack in the end the character and the personality to actually make something worthwhile. And so that's where exemplary stewardship comes in. Pillar number 2 is the brand ecosystem. Over the last years, and there are a lot of hot takes that I have on that topic, and we'll come back to that later again, a lot more in detail, but the brand ecosystem is an observation of mine that I've seen over the last years. A lot of people talk about the personal brand as the staple that you need to build online. A lot of people say grow on one platform, yet they don't take into consideration that the personal brand is more than just your name or your photo or one social media platform that you post on. It's your reputation over that. And so the brand ecosystem is an ecosystem that works cohesively and also platform overlapping, content overlapping, product overlapping. And so so that's a little bit of my background. Is I've studied forestry to become a forester, to work in the forest, and that's an ecosystem. And so I understand that ecosystem ideal really well. And the part is that an ecosystem is more than just one tree. And I think that's the part that I have ingrained so much over the last years, that it's a personal brand with one platform is one tree. It's not the whole ecosystem. We need more to that than just a pretty face online. So that's the brand ecosystem pillar. And the third pillar is the Grand Campaign. The Grand Campaign is the starting pack that's out now, or shortly. And the part of that is that I've learned over the years that it's not so much about teaching, it's about actual accountability. It's about helping you along the way, grow the business, grow the company, create the content. And so it's much more about accountability and making the progress fun. And so that's where now the big part of the BrandLocked and also the Grand Campaign comes in, that we can actually track progress. And so how does that work? You might see this poster here in the back. That's the progress sheet, the progress poster from the Grand Campaign. It's looking like this, and we can add stickers to this as we go. Well, what stickers do we put on it? And that's a good question. And we have 3 kinds of stickers. We have little dots, little round dot stickers that are our experience points that we want to have in the middle. And then we have 2 kinds of achievements. We have minor achievements and major achievements. And so those will be added. These are similar to the major goals that I set for the BrandLocked campaign. And then this one is coming with a quest pack of helping you keep track and be motivated throughout the stages. And then you might ask, how do I get that? And the simple question is that we have a deck building game included. So this is the quest pack for the starting quests. And then we have a starting deck of cards that we have different actions on that we can track and then get experience points for. And so that's a simple deck builder. You build your deck with the activities and then keep track. And so it's not something that we need another app for. It's physical on paper. You can mark it off and then collect them. And to keep us organized, we have the ledger. The ledger is a folder where we have a tracking sheet for also all the major achievements to keep track of them. And so that is how I am going to lock myself in this room, in this brand, as BrandLocked going forward, to start collecting my experience points, to start doing my tasks, and to make it more fun. you can join in too. And that's what I have to offer, is to help you grow. As I'm growing with my campaign, you can start your own. So that's a little bit of a glimpse of what's to come. And it's going to be fun. I've built years on different aspects of this, and now it's coming together because I'm throwing it all into one pot, into one brand. And we can start growing together if you like. If you want to follow along on this journey, just subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you want to learn more about the fellowship that we can have along the way, you can find a link in the description below. Until then, the starter packs are prepared. The map is hung to the wall, and the timer is ticking. Ticking and ticking and ticking. So we have no time to waste. My name is Jovi, and I have 1,000 days to build the double comma brand ecosystem. Let the campaign begin.